Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Becca and today I have a very special video. I have with me my mom.
Hi everybody.
As I was growing up, my friends lovingly called her Mama Gabster. So that is, you know, what all of my friends in high school knew her as, but her actual name is Gabby. And she's an awesome woman and she comes from a long line of plant people, which means that I do too, and my dad is also really into plants, so they have a lot of really fun stuff out here. But today we are going to be repotting some of their house plants and answering some of your burning questions, because I thought it would be fun to get some tea from my mother. But first, let's talk about what we're repotting. So, what are we repotting first, Mom?
Well, we've got two beautiful Pilea pups that just came off of our Big Mama, and so fun. They're getting quite large. We have a Hoya Impacta that we're going to repot, and she's doing really well. Been putting off a lot of new growth, and so it's time to put her into a bigger pot. And then we have this spider plant that seems to be ready for a new pot for sure. She's outgrowing her little space here, so we're gonna give her some more room.
Yeah, this is pottery from, what are they called? Terra Vita.
Terra Vita.
I have a ton of Terra Vita around my house. And then we're also gonna separate these aloe.
Yep.
My parents are like aloe growers, basically. Like they have
They just grow.
yeah, they have like an aloe farm pretty much. Like they have a few aloe, like there's this one pot of aloe out in the front that they've had. How long do you think that has been in there?
Probably 10-15 years.
Yeah, and it's just like there's multiple babies and the babies have had babies. It's like 9 generations probably of aloe in that pot, and then they just planted one in the ground, which is doing really good.
Yeah.
So cool. I mean, it got so big so fast.
Yep.
And then, you know, they have a bunch of little ones like this. So I always know that I can get aloe from my parents if all else fails. But we sent my sister out to get some pottery. So it truly is a family affair today. So we've got some pottery from Home Goods.
Yep.
Okay, so this piece is super beautiful. It all goes with my mom's general aesthetic. What's your aesthetic? How would you describe it?
Boho. Kind of modern.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely boho, comfortable,
cozy. Yeah. So we've got some pots. We're also going to do some pot roulette to get things in the right spots. But okay, I'm going to pull up these questions.
Okay, great. We need the
music.
The music. Na 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 na. You have a lot of questions.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Whoa.
Yeah. A lot of it is like repeats though.
Okay.
So let's start with something kind of juicy to hook the audience here. So what was Becca's best and worst thing she did as a child?
Best and worst thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna start repotting.
Oh man. I haven't had time to think about this. Yeah, spider plant here.
I meant to give you the questions in advance, so sorry to put you on the spot.
Ah, okay. I don't know, you were like just a great kid. You were always very like, I hate to say stubborn, but in a good way. So like you always had like, when you decided something, you were like gonna do it. And so I think that's probably a really great trait that you've had. Worst things, I don't know that there's very many. Oh my gosh.
I know.
She's ready. I think I learned about the worst things you did in your high school.
My graduation speech.
Your graduation speech, yeah. So you didn't really do much bad things in high school. You were really a good kid that I know of, but
I was really afraid of, not afraid of authority, but like I didn't want to be in trouble.
Right.
I was in trouble a lot for my grades.
Yes.
Like I really did not care about school.
She was very social. She was a social butterfly, like very social, and always really busy with cheer and her friends and things like that. So I think that really probably kept you out of a lot of trouble just because you were so busy.
Yeah.
And then you got more serious about school Ouch! I just got bit by something. Ow!
Yeah,
I'm gonna get bit by stuff out here.
I know. It's okay. It's nature.
Yeah. But yeah, you were so busy with school, and you know you did work. But yeah, you got more serious about school, I think, in your junior year. And as you started hang out with people who were like a little more serious about school, you became more serious about school, which was great.
Yeah, because it was cool to be smart.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So, and I think you kind of like to, you know, when you were younger, you never played up how smart you really were. In fact, you had a teacher call you out on that.
Which one?
Your English teacher in 8th grade.
Oh, Mr. Holm?
Yes. He said, Becca's a lot smarter than she lets on, and she tries to be cool and not know stuff, but she's so smart.
And now I'm a know-it-all on the internet.
Right. Makes a lot of sense.
I wonder what you would say in this moment. That's funny.
Yeah, but all of your teachers were like super excited to, you know, see you again and stuff like that. They loved you. You worked for the school. She worked for the school for a period of time, and so she got to know a lot of the administration, and so they all liked her.
Yeah.
So
They did like me.
yeah, so it was pretty cool. You're kind of like, you were a celebrity then. Everyone loved you.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, they did.
That's funny. All right, well, that's not as bad as I thought.
It's not really juicy.
It's not.
It's just.
Sorry, guys. I was a good kid. I have to tell you, like, there's not that much juice. But in my high school graduation speech, I did reveal that I was in a collision with a...
Is it a mailbox? Or a trash can?
Trash can. I hit a trash can with my mom's car, and they were always like, what did this dent come from? Or it was like a scratch. And they're like, what did this scratch come from?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't
know.
And you guys believed me, right?
Yeah.
They totally believed me.
Yeah. I was very trusting mom.
Yeah.
When it came to you.
And I didn't really, like, definitely there were times when I took advantage of that, but I was, for the most part, very tame.
I think you did sneak out.
I did sneak out.
Yeah.
I snuck out in 7th grade.
Oh.
Yeah. And do you know what I did?
Well, was that when you went walking around that big water tank and...
No. Well, we did that too. Me and Hannah did that too around that age. But I actually snuck over to a boy's house in 7th grade. Yeah.
No.
No, seriously.
I believe it.
I
do. She was boy crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was pretty boy crazy when she was younger.
Which is surprising that I got married so young, being so boy crazy.
You settled down.
I settled.
You found what you wanted, and it was all good.
Yeah, a reformed boy crazy woman. But yeah. Here's a story real quick. It was this. He was in high school. Even worse.
Oh no.
He was in 9th grade, and we were texting. I don't even remember how we got each other's numbers, but we were texting. I was not allowed to text boys at this time.
No.
Not until high school, I think, that was lifted. And so I had his name saved under a girl's name or something like that.
And I never checked her phone, so it didn't really matter. But
Yeah. I mean, I did get caught doing that. Dad caught me.
Oh.
I don't know if you ever heard about it, but he did catch me. One time I texted the word and I got in so much trouble. Anyway, so I don't even know how this guy got my phone number, but we were texting. We were in a relationship kind of, but not really. And so I walked to his house. Do you know the Circle K over by my elementary school?
Yeah.
He lived over there, which is like a mile.
Gosh, that's
like
a long
mile
ways.
and a half.
Yeah, for sure.
So I walked in the middle of the night, like 2 a.m. maybe, to his house by myself.
Oh my god.
Jumped through his window, got in his bed. We just kissed though. I promise. I have nothing to hide now, but yeah, all we did was kiss.
Oh my gosh.
And then I snuck back out and went back to the house.
Okay, that's the worst thing I've ever heard that she's done.
Sometimes I forget that I did that. Like, that feels like a fever dream.
That's like so long ago.
Yeah, and it was like so out of character. I don't know why. Yeah.
Well, you were a little rebellious at the time, I have to admit.
Yeah.
You know, 13 through 15 was really hard. But I was really hard on my parents at 13 to 15.
Yeah.
Like, my parents were like,
yeah. Oh, wait, we need to
no.
repot this one first before
Yeah.
because we need this pot for that.
Okay.
So
Right.
I'll do this. You get that out.
Okay.
Okay, the next question. Do you have any, like, embarrassing things that I've done that you can remember?
Nothing I would tell the world about. Okay, I remember one thing. Like, you were 2, and you were very stubborn during this time period too. And I used to carry a wooden spoon with me. Yes, I was one of those moms. And I couldn't, like, just bring it out whenever, because, you know,
Yeah.
people will, like, think you're crazy. But I had one, and anyway, I would carry it around and I would threaten you with it, of course.
90s parenting. Awesome.
Yeah, right. I threatened you. I didn't do anything. You literally got, I don't know, something happened and you screamed in the mall and, like, literally screamed the whole way home. I promised your dad when I got home, I was like, I am never taking her to the mall again. Like, I picked you up and you were still screaming. The whole length of the mall.
Like, this was after the wooden spoon threat, or I just did it?
You weren't scared, basically. You were like, I couldn't even scare you with a wooden spoon at that point. I don't know
Right.
what happened, but you were not having it. So,
I feel like, okay, see, this, like, resonates with me as a teen, too, because I feel like you've told me that you felt like you couldn't really punish me because I just didn't care.
no.
So maybe I was like that just from birth. Like,
Yeah.
I did that as a 2-year-old. Like,
Yeah.
I just didn't care.
You were just like, whatever, Mom. Like, you'd be beating down the door, and I'm like, ah! My kids.
Scared
Like,
of me.
trying to, yeah. You were, and you were mad. So
Yeah.
it was pretty tough to parent you, because
I have a temper even now. It doesn't come out very often, but I have a temper.
yes, stubborn.
This is a cute little trellis. Where'd you get this?
Where did I get that? Target.
Target. Okay.
It comes with 2 other trellis things.
Oh, I wonder if
See,
it was
you
a...
like manhandle that. It scares me. You're like moving it around.
It can handle it.
Okay.
Just sort of toss it through. And then we're going to put it in this pot because this is the smallest one. And
No
this
hole.
nursery pot. And yeah, and it doesn't have a drainage hole. So my dad usually drills drainage holes, but I told her that we don't, you don't necessarily need to do that. If you can
We don't
just
got time for
this.
that, Mom.
Yeah, then you can just water it in here and it'll just...
It looks so pretty.
Yeah, it looks really nice. I bet you it'll start cascading soon. But it grew like...
This much, I think.
Yeah.
Like, what? 4 inches? 5 inches?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot in a really short amount of time, actually, I think.
Yeah, I think that... And what does this look like? Yeah, it's even putting out new growth right now.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It does that. It seems like it puts out a long stem, and then it starts putting out leaves, and then it puts the long stem out again, and then more
Yeah,
leaves. So,
it fills in.
ugh.
You have dirt on your face.
Oh well.
Oh, well, it's occupational hazard. What did Mom think when I went full-time plant YouTube?
I was really, really proud of you. I think it took a lot of courage to step out and just do it. I'm an entrepreneur, so I'm like super proud of you and so glad that you did it. I mean, before that, Becca was working with me, and it just wasn't her passion. And
As fun as it was to work together.
yeah, I don't know. There again, there are times where I think
There were times when it wasn't fun.
it wasn't fun.
Not all the time, no. Yeah,
But yeah, like it was really cool to see you, kind of go out of your comfort zone, and have never been worried about you like making it or figuring it out. I think that's probably a really, a big part of you doing it. Like I always knew that you could, and I kind of always instilled that in you too, that you can do whatever you want, whatever you put your mind to.
yeah.
You had such a great following, and people just love your content. I'm the person behind the scene going, Becca, did you try this? Did you try that? what about this? Can't you sell this? You know, like I'm like her biggest fan, and so I'm also mompreneur and mom manager, and try to really encourage you to do more.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's helpful, sometimes it's not, but it's been a learning experience, I think.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I remember, like, my mom, as she said, is an entrepreneur, and she started her business shortly after my sister was born, so about 18 years ago. And you know, I was 8 years old at the time, and so I kind of watched what it was like. And I remember telling you that I was never going to be a business owner.
Oh, no. You were never going to be a business owner.
Yeah, like, I was probably really mean about it, too. I was like, I will never do this.
Yeah.
Just because in the beginning stages, it's a lot of time away from family, and you have to put a lot of your heart into it. Yep. And it's hard when you're raising a family, and, like, I don't know, it makes me, like, going through this now makes me admire you so much more because you did it with 2 kids and a husband. And, like, so many other things happening in life. And, like, I am barely holding on, and I just have Daniel and my dogs. So there's that. I don't know. It just makes me appreciate you and what you did.
Thanks. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't easy, but it was one of those things where I guess I'm stubborn, too. Like, you know. And I think the thing is, too, is that you've learned a lot, like, through me too. Like, there are, you know, some things that I do regret. I wasn't always able to be around, and I didn't figure out how to, you know, automate and do all the stuff that we have now. But, you know, you can learn from some of my mistakes, which is, I think, great. And that's, you know, really what your parents, what I wanted for you is a different, and you go about entrepreneurship in a different way. And I think that's going to help you go the long haul. Like, you're going to be able to go farther and sustain it. And, you know, when you have kids, it's just going to be a part of the process of, you know, Della plants and seeing your kids fall in love with plants and things like that too, which is super exciting. So, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so I think there's a lot of opportunity for that. I haven't gotten my kids to fall in love with accounting yet, but
no, neither of us.
No.
Sure, this is my sister. Brooke works at the firm right now, and Mom is fervently trying to get her to like accounting.
Yeah, she'd be great for it.
Brooke has more, I think, possibility of that because she's like a math and science brain. Like, you're definitely a STEM brain, math.
I am.
And I'm not at all. Like, I was definitely very arts focused, and I've always been like that.
More
I've never,
creative. Yeah.
We're like polar opposites.
Yeah, Brooke and I are polar opposites in every way.
Yeah.
So, which is not in every way, but in a lot of ways.
You're pretty weird, and I'm pretty weird, so.
Leo baby. Okay, so the next question, which actually kind of leads into what you said about, like, watching your kids love plants.
Yeah.
When did you notice that I had, like, an affinity for plants?
Oh, you really surprised me when you started taking on plants in college. I mean, we have always had house plants and stuff like that. And then, you know, Grandma and Grandpa have 5 acres, and there's plants all over the place there. And, you know, gardening and things like that is definitely in our blood. I mean, who knew you're going to have a YouTube channel with plants? And when you started, I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
You probably did not think it was very cool.
I mean, honestly, you know, in business, they always say that you want a niche.
Yeah.
And you really want to find your niche and go deep as you can in your niche. And I'm like, well, this is like a real niche. Like, not everybody, you know, focuses on plants. And look how cute she is.
I know.
So cute.
It's going to grow so big in this pot.
I know. She's cute.
Yeah.
Your desire to run down the plant trail was really surprising to me. So just I feel like completely out of left field for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was for me too. Like, we always had plants in the house growing up, but I didn't notice them. Like, I was super plant blind.
Yeah.
That's what it is when you don't see plants.
Gotcha.
Like in offices or in stores, the mall. Like if you just don't notice them.
Yeah.
Plant blindness.
Gotcha.
So I was very plant blind. And like, yeah, looking back at old photos from our house, we did have like pothos and lots of spider plants. Like simple things, you know.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't think that was something that a lot of people were aware of either. Like,
yeah.
I think it became more popular maybe in the last few years.
Yeah.
And then of course you have some people who are collectors and they love
I've
them.
always done it.
Yeah.
So why did you put houseplants in our house? Like back then?
I don't know. I like the greenery.
Yeah.
You know, I liked having a beautiful green
Space.
plant. Yeah. So I always liked that.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've always lived in the desert, so it's been something that, you know, really desire to have is more green.
Yeah. It is nice. It's nice to have a little bit of green space in the desert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense. I mean, it's just so funny. Like, I just don't remember. I remember us like doing landscaping outside. Like, we always made really nice like oases outside. But I just don't. In our house on the one where I really grew up in.
Yeah.
We didn't have plants in that house. I don't think.
Yeah, we did.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah. Right by the back door, we always did. And then but the outside that back door,
the outside, yeah, but
was
not
beautiful.
Inside.
Yeah, we did. I had a huge spider plant.
Well, I just don't remember.
I'm trying to break this apart. She's
Yeah.
really strong.
Yeah. It looks like it's really in there. Okay, while you're doing that, let's get the next question.
Okay. See?
Oh, this is funny. I think this person listens to my podcast. Does she remember any of the bugs you kept as pets? Do you remember when I used to... Well, let's see what you remember, actually.
Yeah, like you would get these shoe boxes and you would put a bunch of leaves and stuff and then you would leave them underneath your bed. And these poor little... whatever they were, roly-polies. I remember roly-polies.
It was roly-polies.
You went through a period of time of liking little geckos and lizards, and then you don't remember that,
No.
but you did not take care of them.
Oh, that was like in middle school.
Or
late elementary.
Either they died a horrible, you know.
It's so sad when I think about that. I do remember those.
Or they got loose. I think one of them got loose one time.
Yeah.
So.
Do you remember though when I had the grasshopper?
Yes.
I had this little grasshopper and I raised it from a tiny baby to a big.
He was huge.
Yeah, it was really big.
Yeah, it was like this big or something like that.
Yeah, it was huge and it just like grossed me out. And like it would shed its skin and then eat it and I was like, ugh, I can't do this. But
Yeah.
I remember the roly-polies. I don't know why. Like, I think I was trying to hide them from you guys, and that's why I put them under my bed.
Oh.
I can't think of any other reason why I would do that. But I do
No?
remember one time you did find it, and it was the most I had ever pulled up because we had this like half rock wall, and it like you could lift up the rocks and there'd be roly-polies. Hey! And so one time I swear it was hundreds of them. And you found it and you got really mad at me.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you can't keep doing this, Becca. I was like,
Bringing all these animals or bugs into our house. Like, I have pest control for a reason.
yeah.
Like,
Sorry, Mom.
I don't like them.
Yeah. Okay. Which of my plants is your favorite?
Oh. You know, I think your Hoya, the one that's impacted, the one that keeps on getting these beautiful blooms, like I'm aspiring for that. Like, that's what I want. I want that. Yeah. But I also really love the, I think it's like the anthuriums, like the ones that are like really long.
Oh, yeah.
Gorgeous.
The one I just posted a picture of?
I don't know. You have a few of them and they're all beautiful.
Yeah.
But some of them are in your little tiny greenhouse because they cannot be trusted in the...
They cannot be... That's funny to think that the plant can't be trusted.
She cannot
not
be
me.
trusted. Not you.
Yeah.
She cannot handle it.
That's funny. Oh my gosh.
So yeah, those are some of my favorites. And then I think your big Monstera is really beautiful. And you had that back here in the apartment. You've had that one for a while.
Oh, the Deliciosa, the big wide leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did have that here in Tucson.
Yeah.
It hasn't grown much since I moved, you know that? Which is kind of disappointing. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
It was really big. To begin with, it was big.
Yeah.
But yeah, you would think that you're in really good space.
Yeah, it kind of just hasn't done much. It's
Went
put out a
dormant.
few leaves, but not as many as it should.
Okay. So you have like 3 plants in there, just so you know.
Can I take all of this?
Well, of course you can.
Okay. I mean, you have plenty to spare.
I have plenty. I have another plant that's just like, ah.
Okay, we'll end it on this. No, hold on. Okay, we'll do this one and then one more.
Okay.
And then there's going to be a few more questions on my Patreon. So if you are a patron of mine, you're going to see like a few minutes of bonus footage.
Yeah,
So.
you want to be a Patreon. Yeah, do it.
My mom told me to start a Patreon. And as soon as I did it, she's like, finally, you did a Patreon. I'm like, okay, Mom. Okay, I don't know when it stopped recording. We were sifting through questions. The question that we chose is, what is your favorite thing about each other?
My favorite thing is your resiliency and how you just like
I need to fix this.
you just power through and you figure out stuff. Like,
Yeah.
that's a really good trait to have. You're not afraid to do it, you just do it, and then you figure it out on the way. You know, it's like that quote where, you know, I jumped and my wings opened and I figured it out on the way down.
Yeah.
That's kind of like, that's totally how I see you.
Thank you.
You're like, you figured it out. And all the stuff that you do with your greenhouse and your plant wall, I mean, it really blows me away. I never expected you to do these things. I mean, not that you're not capable, it's just like, it's just wild.
It wasn't really in line with my personality even 5 years ago.
No!
Yeah.
Like, you were an English major and you were gonna go and teach. And not that teachers can't do that, but I mean, I just totally really expected a different thing.
Yeah.
So, like, your kids, you have an idea what your kids are gonna do, and then they start to grow up, and it's so cool to watch them, you know, just go through different changes and metamorphosize. Is that the right word for it? Like, become a butterfly. It's like you blossom into something incredibly different than what you expected. So I have a rose bush like that. Like, I had no idea what the bloom looked like, and when it came out, it was just like amazing.
The one over there.
Yeah, it's like our little French rose.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you are. Like,
Aw.
totally unexpected, but incredibly beautiful. And pretty amazing. So,
Well, you're gonna make me cry.
I know.
Oh.
Well, I can say that because you're my daughter, and you know, I made you. So
Yeah. True. Well, thanks, Mom. My favorite thing about you is, like, you are a really good encourager, and I feel like like, in your job you're a leader, but like in your life you're also a leader, and I think that's really hard to do that well. And like, you are just so good about like making sure other people feel confident that they can do things. And I feel like half the reason why I'm able to do like anything that I do is because you like put that confidence in me, and I feel like you do that for so many people. And yeah, I don't know, like, you just love people for what they are, and you see people, and like you're a deep thinker, and yeah, you just are always inspiring me to like think, because you're always reading, you're always learning something, and like, you're a forever learner, like the original forever learner example. And I just really admire that about you, because I feel like you're gonna be like 90 years old calling me and being like, did you know about this?
yeah,
Like,
for sure.
yeah, like, I just know, like, I'll never stop getting those phone calls, and like, that's a really comforting feeling to know that you're like always trying to like better yourself and like better your business and the people around you.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's true. That's my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I see it.
Aw.
Well, guys, thank you so much for listening in on this repotting session with my mom. Again, we are going to do just a few more questions for my Patreon, so if you would like to continue the conversation, you can head over to the link down below. I'll have the video already up and ready to go, so you can check it out. But thanks for coming on my channel, Mom.
My pleasure. I'm so glad you allowed me to be part of this.
Me too. I'm glad that you agreed. It was fun. Okay. All right. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
My hands are dirty.
They are. Dirtier than mine.
Yes!
I don't like dirty hands.
I don't either. It's all underneath my nails.
Under your nails. Do you not like having dirty hands?
No.
Like, is that like a, yeah. I don't either.